But I got to thinking about this blessed in the word Macarius, and I want to just share in closing a phenomenal testimony. Everyone know I mentioned Pastor Jack Hayford a moment ago. About 7 or 8 years ago, Pastor Jack was walking. He walks around in his neighborhood in the mornings or the evenings for exercise and to pray and things. And he was walking, and he just had this thought, just a thought came in his mind. You know, years ago, he'd had a golden lab, and he just thought, I'd kind of like a golden lab again to walk around the block with me. Had that thought, and then went right on. Never thought about it, didn't think about it for more than that one statement. A few days later, this is when his first wife, Anna, was still alive. They were driving to a vacation home they have out in the country. They came up over a hill. There was a car parked on the side of the road. They could see a man saying to a dog, "Stay." And then he got in his car and drove off. And they thought, I think that man's abandoning that dog. And they drove up. The dog was just sitting there. And another car was coming the other way. And the lady stopped and said, "Did y'all see that? It looks like that man abandoned that dog." And they said, "We did." They said, "We have a home nearby, and so we'll take him and call the vet, call the shelter, see if someone's missing him. Maybe give the guy the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he found the dog himself and thought, no, this is where the dog needs to go home, and this is where I found him, and he'll go back home, or something. I don't know." So Jack went over to get him, and he was just, you can see it in your mind. He's just wagging his tail and big smile on his face, and so he named him Mac, short for Macarius, which means happy. He told me his full name is Macarius Jack Hayford, but he calls him Mac. And so he gets this dog, puts him in the back seat, goes to the vet, takes him to the vet, says, "Hey, has anyone filed for a lost dog?" Or asked, no. They called the shelters. They check him out when he's there, and he said he's already had his shots. The dog is very good health. He's 1 to 2 years old. It's just perfect because he's out of that puppy stage where he's chewed through everything. And a few weeks went by and no one called. And so they thought, well, this is just a gift from the Lord, And so then he's walking again one day, and he's got the dog beside him. And he came to that same place, and he remembered that just a few weeks earlier, he'd had that thought, I'd like a golden lab to walk with me. And now here's the dog, And then he had this thought, why would I think that God would arrange all those details just because I had the thought that I wanted a dog? And he said, as soon as I thought it, he said, the Lord spoke to him and said, why wouldn't I arrange all those details? Why wouldn't I? To bless you. Here's what I want to say to you. Quit thinking, why would God want to bless me? Start thinking, why wouldn't God? The God that sent his own son to die for you and to purchase your salvation, why wouldn't he want you to have a blessed family and to take you from brokenness to blessing? Because he's a good God.